Hello again, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net. Thanks again for watching. This is your look ahead updated on Wednesday, the 24th of June. Now don't forget, if you need a fast forecast, check out Gary's fast forecast for the next couple of days. Thank you also for the many of you who got in touch asking us about the premium website that we're developing. We got thousands of people watching the videos and using the website now, so thank you each and every one of you for that. The premium site's going to be up and running soon. What it's going to include is far more detailed video forecasts. So, for example, you'll get a video forecast for the coming season, even for next year. We're working on just at the moment. It's some of the guidance that we give to our private clients. Also on there will be the premium videos that you've been seeing elsewhere being charged for, and there'll also be way more up-to-date musings, more frequent updates on the musings, and also new charts from the models and new model data available as well. So we'll have that out and about for you very, very soon. But thank you for showing an interest in it. Okay, yesterday we were talking about the cool of winter, and today we're talking about heat waves. Just before we move on, I must just say, if there's anything that you'd like to see on the premium site, anything that we miss off here, any forecasts, any data, anything you want to see, please use the contact form at the top of the page to get in touch and let us know. All right, let's talk about heat waves. Because some of the models predicting that we could have a heat wave hitting the UK during the course of next week really hits middle part to the end of next week, according to the ECMWF. This is the ECMWF forecast for London. It's 8:50 temperatures. Look at these shooting up here. That's the 2nd of July there, with a 21 degree at 8:50. And even in Glasgow, we got 20 degrees at 8:50 as well. And you see how temperatures kind of bounce around and then suddenly take this big spike upwards as we get towards the middle stages of next week. And it's the ECMWF that's more bullish on this at the moment, as it's building the ridge northwards. You see here, this is the chart from last night. We've got one ridge in here, we've got another ridge out here, and all building as warm southwesterly winds pump northwards, building the ridge in here, so that as we progress through the coming days, the ridge becomes ever stronger, and we're getting ever warmer air down here, look, pumping its way northwards. So that by Sunday, weak ridge in the south, we've got low pressure off towards the west, but things start to become dominated by high pressure across the UK with a significant ridge building. It collapses away for a time as a trough passes its way eastwards, but then this feature getting out into the Atlantic turns the flow more into a southerly, builds the ridge even more, and by the 30th of June, so this is next Tuesday, look, we've got a really significant high pressure ridge then across the country. But as so often happens when we get our heat waves, of course, thunderstorms look as if they start to set off middle to the latter stages of the week. This is the chart for next Wednesday, and we've already got an area of low pressure developing off the west of France there. The ridge here pumping its way northwards through the British Isles still. The warm weather there, low pressure off towards the west, turning the flow ever southerly. Now by Thursday, ECMWF puts a little area low pressure off towards the west. There's our big ridge off towards the east. Really warm southeasterly flow. Friday the 3rd, heat low extending, let me put the blue on there for you. Heat low extending through France, off towards the east of the UK. Again, indication of the thunderstorms, but staying very warm. The heat basically mainly across central parts of Europe here. And then by the 4th, the ridge well and truly in place here. Look, across central parts of Europe, some really, really hot weather to come there. Hot weather as well, probably in the UK, most of it across the east and the south. Always tending to be a little bit on the fresher side the further west that you go. But ECMWF really does want to go for the heat next week. And just to compare, this is the 8:50 temperature analysis from last night. You can see generally temperatures across the UK at 8:50, typically between about 0 and 10 degrees. 8:50 is about 5,000 feet. And then compare that to the 2nd of July, so next Thursday, look at that, 20 degrees moving northwards across the UK. GFS Ensemble, a little bit cooler, 12 degrees for the GFS Ensemble, which is what you'd expect to see from that model. It always cools it off a little bit just because of the smoothing effect of the ensembles. But the Canadian operational has got 20 degrees across the southeast of the country as well for the 2nd of July. So certainly looks as if temperatures coming up next week. I think the big question that we've got to put in is how extensive are the thunderstorms, and whilst it gets hot, it is going to be increasingly humid, and that does suggest to me that it's more of a thundery situation. So I'm not sure. I know many of you were interested in haymaking. I'm not exactly sure that it is going to be conducive to that, because I think that thunderstorms could become quite widespread, particularly across some eastern areas. Also, we could find some pretty damaging thunderstorms going through parts of Iberia and France as well, with some significant hail there, those perhaps moving into western parts of Germany too. I should stress that this heat wave isn't guaranteed, certainly isn't guaranteed next week. There's still a lot of uncertainty. If that trough off towards the west across Ireland gets any further eastwards, then the hot weather is going to be shifted off towards the east. Hats off to the GFS. It's the one that's been looking at heat waves across Europe, trying to point into them. But interestingly enough, it doesn't actually get the UK into really hot weather. Look, in week 1, it keeps us at close to or just below normal temperatures. Does the same look for week 2, whereas it builds the heat significantly across Central Europe. Week 3 doing the same look, near normal temperatures UK, but the heat here in Europe. And week 4 from the 15th to the 21st July, it does exactly the same, keeps the temperatures over the UK nearer normal, shifts the heat off towards eastern parts of Europe. So you see, this heat is in no way guaranteed, although I think you're going to be hearing a lot about it over the next few days, particularly since it's ECMWF that's come up with the idea and is the model that's promoting that particular idea as well. And just something else that I've just noticed on the CFS anomalies too. Watch the El Nino region here. There's week 1, look. There's week 2. Now, look at weeks 3 and 4. It could just be an effect of model smoothing, but just look how temperatures cool off across the El Nino 3 region. That's going to be of interest, because that ain't supposed to happen, as the chart here shows us. Look, this upward trend in El Nino still going the CFS for a strong event peaking around November, December of this year. Although, to be fair to the model, look, it does try to pull off temperatures a little bit here during August, although of course we're nowhere near August, and it's seeing that decrease into week 4. As I say, it might just be an effect of the smoothing effect of the ensemble on the model, but something to be keeping an eye on. And I'll leave you with that for now, but whatever you're doing, thanks again for watching, keep the sun shining, and bye for now.